Thank you very much, honorable members. I now call on the House to sing the national anthem. We'll have the audio. You may now be seated. I would like to take this opportunity to greet every minister, every MMC, and every honorable member, all the participants. I acknowledge and greet you all. You are welcome. As we are the youth of Gauteng, today we're going to have a debate on the issues that we're facing. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the Deputy Chair of Committees of Gauteng Provincial Legislature, Honorable Mike Madlala, and ask him to declare a legislature precinct in terms of Rule 59, 1 and 2. Round of applause.
Thank you, Speaker. And thank you, Deputy Speaker, and your presiding officers, and all present members of the Parliament, the Youth Parliament, and our observers. Let me also take this opportunity to also recognize the Speaker of the Legislature, the Deputy Speaker of the Legislature, and the Chair of Chairs, including the Chairperson of the Committee of Education. Mine at this stage is to ensure that this place is dealt with in terms of the rules, and therefore everything that would be dealt with here or would be done in terms of the rules. So this place would be like Parliament. So if we have to make this place like a parliament or a mock parliament, we would then have to declare this precinct as the precinct of the legislature in terms of the rules. I, Mike Madlala, as the Deputy Chairperson of Committees, hereby declares the Nasrec Expo Center Hall as the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 56 of the Standing Rules of the Gauteng Legislature, Version 5, Revision 1, read together with Section 2, Subsection 1, and Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges, and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act Number 4 of 2004. The precinct of the legislature or parliaments are described as follows. 1, the precinct of parliament is the area of land and every building or part of a building under a parliament's control, including A, the chambers in which the proceedings of the houses are conducted, and the galleries and lobbies of the chamber. B, every part of the building in which the chambers are situated, and every forecourt, yard, garden, enclosure, or open space appurtenant thereto. C, committee rooms and other meeting places provided or used primarily for parliament purposes. And D, every other building or part of a building provided or used in connection with the proceedings of parliament while so used. Therefore, for the duration of this meeting, this place, Nasrec, will be the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Thus, the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all engagements of the day. I want to thank you, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Madlala. Thank you very much, Honorable. We would like to take this opportunity to call again Honorable Madlala to deliver his welcoming address to the House. You may come back, sir.
Thank you once more, Speaker and your Deputy Speaker. All protocol observed, as I already mentioned. I had shown to say that I comply in terms of the discipline of what I've been called for. I was called for to declare the area as a precinct of the legislature. Now I have to do the welcome. Honorable Ntombi Mekwe, the Speaker of the Legislature in Gauteng, Honorable Uhuru Muilwa, the Deputy Speaker of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, Honorable Mayor Ralihok Ngomo, the Chairperson of Committees of the Legislature in Gauteng, Honorable Chairperson Mbisi, of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Honorable MEC as you enter, MEC Mamabulo, speakers of the Youth of Parliament and the Deputy Speaker, parliamentarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to all of you gathered here this morning in this vibrant venue, Nasrec Expo Center. Let me also take this opportunity to thank you all for honoring this invitation. A special welcome to invited guests. In spite of all the hectic programs and things that we have heard this morning regarding transport, we are honored as Gauteng Provincial Legislature to be hosting the Youth Parliament in collaboration with the GPG. GPG is Gauteng Provincial Government. The Youth Parliament is taking place alongside the activities of the Gauteng Provincial Government, where a number of activities will be taking place. After our Parliament, please find time to explore all these opportunities, as there will be the Expo around the precinct. As you youth parliamentarians, you have been carefully chosen to represent your regions. You have been given the mandate to articulate their positions on matters they feel must be raised at this platform. Please represent them very well. The youth of 1976 represented millions of young people and marched in the streets of Soweto and elsewhere, protesting against the use of Afrikaans as the medium of instruction. This task they did with discipline, diligence, and they were focused. They did not allow to be distracted. Even police were stopping them, they were not deterred. We are today enjoying the fruits of freedom because they remain resolute and astute to their mandate. They stood firm to their demands and confronted the apartheid system in the manner it deserved. You are once more reminded that your community friends and colleagues elected you to come here to this sector parliament precisely because they have trust in you. The Gauteng Provincial Legislature has given you the platform to engage, grab this opportunity with both hands and articulate the position of those that have mandated you. I'm an unwaveringly champion of public participation in the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. I invite you to become champions too. The legislature complies with the Constitution, as this is the 20th year of the Democratic Constitution and the National Council of Provinces. And the legislature stands on 4 legs, and that is why it is important for you to be here. One of the legs is lawmaking, where we are actually making laws. The second leg is that we are doing oversight over the executive as the legislature. And the third one is that we are involved in intergovernmental relations, where there is cooperative governance between national, provincial, and local government. And the final leg is what you see on the board there around public participation. So this youth parliament is part of that 4th leg, which avails you the opportunity to participate on matters that have to affect the youth within our province. The fight for youth development cannot wait. We'll do our best for the development of young people. Let us work together to make this world better for all, where young people respect the elders and vice versa, and mutual respect is promoted at all costs. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, let me take this opportunity to wish you well in your deliberations in this important youth sector parliament of 2017, and which I believe will help us in our mission to create a legislature based on the principles of non-racialism, non-sexist, and prosperous country where South Africa belongs to all who live in it. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Madlala. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the Speaker of Gauteng Provincial Legislature, the woman who inspires many women, young women, the woman who motivates us and we look after her, Honorable Ntombi Mekwe, to address the House. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker of the day. You know what motivates me? It's your statement that says you will look after me. So my retirement days are just by the corner, so I am safe. Ntate Madlala, you're not going to be taken care of, but I'll be taken care of. Let me acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Muyilwa, the MEC for Transport, Honorable Mama Bulo, not for transport. I'm sorry. At times you confuse me so much. You've been an MEC in various portfolios. but he's an MEC for infrastructure. So transport can't, exist without infrastructure. Let me also acknowledge the chairperson of committees, Honorable Rally Huku, the deputy chairperson who just opened our meeting now, Honorable Madlala, our chairperson of the portfolio committee of education, who also happens to be the champion of youth affairs. He might look old, but he is young at heart. Let me also acknowledge the HOD for infrastructure. For the first time, we have a senior official from government departments attending. We want to thank you very much. You are recognized. Let me also acknowledge all honorable members of this House, led by the Speaker, our young Speaker, a beautiful Speaker, members of the panel, colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to once more again present to you the purpose of the Youth Sector Parliament under the theme, I quote, following up on our commitment to the youth of Gauteng, close quote, with specific references to commemorating 20 years of democratic constitutionalism and 20 years of the National Council of Provinces, which is normally called NCOP, which is the second House of Parliament in the Republic of South Africa. Having said that, this event will highlight the challenges faced by the youth of Gauteng and seek to establish legitimate platforms for empowerment, as well as to provide channels for discussions and implementation of resolutions emanating from this sector parliament. So whatever will be discussed here in terms of resolutions, we'll actually take them seriously. We'll send them to departments so that they can give us feedback as to how they're going to take these matters forward. The month of June is recognized nationally as the month for the youth due to the event that took place on the 16th of June, 1976, wherein black students, not only from Soweto, but Soweto was the highlight, took to the streets in defiance to the use of the Afrikaans language as a medium of instruction and the education system. In the same youth parliament last year, we were honored to be visited by those that led the June 16, 1976 uprisings in South Africa. In fact, our deputy chair who just opened the meeting was one of those youth parliamentarians, although he was in his corner in Tembisa, but he was there. We learn from them and we appreciate the work that was done, Deputy Chairperson. And I recall some years ago, I met some young people from Swaziland who said to me, at the time I was in another position, they said, can't you help us in Swaziland to also celebrate June 16, 1976? But I said, you did not fight in Swaziland, how do I do it? But I understand the appreciation because the struggles of young people in South Africa and in the continent, but in the world over, because of those young people who were disciplined, who knew what they were doing, who respected everyone. It was appreciated and is still being appreciated by a number of other young people all over the world. The Youth Parliament is convened during the month of June as part of the commemoration and celebration of the role played by young people in the struggle for freedom and democracy since June 16 became a major turning point in South African struggle history. The 2017 Youth Month program aims at commemorating the 20 years of democratic constitutionalism and the 20 years of National Council of Provinces. As the Youth Sector Parliament, we should draw lessons from the dawn of democracy. South Africa has made significant strides in ensuring that its citizens enjoy human rights as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. As an organ of state, Gauteng Provincial Legislature has implemented various social outreach programs that educate the people of Gauteng about their rights and eligibility to participate in the legislative process to celebrate the achievements we've made as a nation. This youth sector parliament therefore seeks to provide a platform for young people to share ideas, reflect on their future, and make use of the new forms of public participation and new spaces for political assertion are availed to them. The youth of 1976 did not have the opportunities that the youth of today have. The youth program seeks to provide young people of this country with an opportunity to clearly delineate their normative role in facilitating and harnessing social cohesion and nation building and in advancing the country's developmental agenda. In fact, before I came here, I was addressing some learners in one school in Tsakane. I said, I see the discussion and the debates in our political discourse. People think that the struggle against apartheid was a struggle against white people. And I had to clarify that that struggle was a struggle against white domination, not against white people. It's against white domination. And therefore, even if as black people who are going to be dominating, we'll fight against that because it is not the struggle that our forebears were fighting against. At times, the discussions, if those issues are not addressed properly, will end up losing track of what we seek to achieve. Therefore, we seek to provide a platform for young people to be at the forefront of the debates about their role in society and the nature of their citizenship as well as responsibilities. More so as the country is busy reconstructing its past, navigating through and interpreting the current realities and mapping out new visions for the future, involvement of young people becomes indispensable. The main purpose of this event is to enable a platform, is to strengthen the existing partnership between the Gauteng Provincial Legislature and the youth of Gauteng. This will be achieved through continuous engagement with young people in order to understand their plight by looking closely at the effectiveness of existing policies aimed at providing socio-economic relief for their challenges. Our challenges, the challenges of the youth of 1976 and your challenges might not be the same. So therefore, whatever programs that we come up with must seek to ensure that we respond to the current challenges so that in the future we don't have to repeat those. Covering the reflections of the challenges of the youth of 1976 and the youth of today, the right to equality, racism and inequality, and youth participation in politics and governance is important. Claiming the right to education, we need to be dealing with issues of quality of our education, access to basic education, and access to higher education. On our constitution and the youth rights, you will be here in this session, you will be talking about the health, issues of labor, education, and equality. We are therefore called upon to represent the aspirations of all the young people of Gauteng, wherever they are. There is an expectation that you will come up with recommendations that will lead to improvements in the quality of lives of the people of Gauteng. The topics that have been chosen must, at the end of the day, enrich and provide further guidance to the work already undertaken by the Gauteng government to improve the lives of our young people. In conclusion, I am reminded by the wise words and the message to the youth of South Africa by the late leader, one of our forebears, Ntate Moses Kotane, who said, I quote, "At this hour of destiny, your country and your people need you. The future of South Africa is in your hands, and it will be what you make of it." I close quote. This quotation was made some years ago, but it is relevant even to the young people of today. Your country needs you. In saying so, the challenges that we are facing as young people today in relation to the challenges that the youth and the youth of the past are very different. Yet your struggle is no less important. In fact, seeing that you are the future leaders in this country, it is imperative that South Africans in general and Gauteng in particular ensure that the youth of today benefit in a way that honors all that was fought for by the previous generations. In this regard, your recommendations must therefore enrich the youth development to groom and nurture young minds to become future leaders. I therefore take this opportunity to wish the Youth Sector Parliament of 2017 all the best, and I wish to thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ntombi Mekgwa, for your address. We definitely look up to you, and I'll definitely look after you. Okay. Those who've got headphones, if you want English, switch to 1, Zulu 2, Sotho 3, Afrikaans 4. English 1, Zulu 2, Sotho 3, Afrikaans 4. Thank you very much, honorable members. I would like to welcome the MEC for Infrastructure and request him to deliver the keynote. Honorable Jacob Mamabola.
Thank you very much, Program Directors. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of our provincial government to convey sincere greetings to our Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Let me also take the opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate the chairperson of committees, Nomanti Nkomorale Huku, and the deputy chairperson of committees, Honorable Matala. Honorable chairperson of the Education Portfolio Committee, Joe Mpisi, members of the Youth Parliament, but to Kamuka, I guess, Honorable Speaker, we have at the back the public gallery. Ereki ba dumedishe le bona. Kere dumelang ba Kamuka ba le ngona montong. Now, Honorable Speaker, when I came in, because this is a youth parliament, I've been trying to find out which side is the ruling party and which side is the opposition. So I hope I'll get to understand that. But otherwise, let me also, on behalf of the provincial government, congratulate all the youth that have been delegated to sit in the very important session of the Youth Parliament. And I must say that it will be quite exciting to see how the meeting will be run and how the speaker will manage. It will be a very good lesson to us. So that's an opportunity that I'm looking forward to. Now, let me also just, Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, take the opportunity to congratulate you. Just on Tuesday, I've had the opportunity to address a workers' parliament. And today you have a youth parliament. Now, with that, I think it's fair to salute you for keeping the legislature as an organ of what scholars and revolutionaries call tribune of the people, to make the legislature accessible to our people, to the workers, to the youth, and to all sectors of our society. I think we should keep to this tradition of making Parliament accessible as a tribune of the people. So on that note, I would like to thank you very much. Now, I have seen the theme that is being adopted, and let me congratulate you for the theme, and of course for some of the topics or the sub-themes that have been put forward. One that has really attracted me, and that's where I'd like to spend a bit of time, is the one that talks about the youth then and the youth now. Go ba le ditšeng ko morago, ke be ke re go baswa ba ba leng mo, gore ke bona gore go botlhokwa mamotla mo poledišanong e tlo bang gona mo, gore re bolele ka baswa kua morago, re bolele ka baswa ba mamotla, re lebelele gore na baswa ba le ba kileng ba ema ba le bantšha mmušo o bo o le mmušo wa kgatelelo, mmušo o e leng gore o bo ikemile ka dibetša tša bogale, o ile o lwantšhana le bana ba sekolo, bana ba bannyane. Ge re lebelela baswa bao le baswa ba gona bjalong, re ka kgona gore re fetše re rena ke difeng tše re ka bonang gore baswa ba di lebelele, re ithuta go ba le ba pele ba 1976 le baswa ba ba mamotla. So le tla ntshwarela ka gore ge nka thoma ka Sepedi sela sa gešo le ka tla ba bangwe ba tla ba senkwe bjalong e re ke leke gore ke se ka le tlogela. Now, Honorable Speaker, and to the members of the Youth Parliament, I am of the view, and I'd like to present it to you as a matter that we should look at. And that is, what is it that constitutes the principal factor about the youth of 1976, so that we can check how to take forward the struggle to create a quality of life and better conditions for the young people. Now, as far as I can understand it, and of course I'll be listening to the discussions, the youth of 1976 had identified education as a very important factor in the development of young people. They were able to understand the principal question of that time. And they came to the conclusion that they had to mobilize and organize and fight to remove the barriers, and in this case, Afrikaans, as a barrier to the development of young people and, of course, to quality public education. And the youth mobilized, and they raised a very profound question of removing Afrikaans as a barrier to proper learning and teaching. And I think we must congratulate them for that, because indeed, you could imagine having to do mathematics in Afrikaans. I could imagine how many of us would have moved to the next level. Now, the question I'd like to pose to the Youth Parliament is, how can you sitting here, and I think this is a very important discussion, Honorable Speaker, what are the challenges that faces youth today? Just like the youth of 1976, this Youth Parliament, and of course as the executive, the provincial government will be looking forward to the outcomes of this, as the Speaker said. We will want you to help us identify, just as the youth of 1976 did, what is the critical challenge facing young people in our country today, in our province? Because the youth of 1976 were able to identify a critical challenge that faced them at that time. And they were able to mobilize, to organize, and to take effort to deal with that issue, which was impacting on the quality of their development through quality education. So I will not, Honorable Speaker, want to preempt the discussion by posing that challenge, but we'll be quite comfortable as the provincial government because we should not impose what we think is a challenge facing young people. Young people should be able to say, and I'll support that, nothing about us without us. And therefore, it will be very much important that you pose the question of what is the challenge facing young people in our country today and what should be done about it. And I think that is the principal question. Having said that, Honorable Speaker and the honorable members of the Youth Parliament, we must not fall into the temptation of a shopping list. A shopping list will mean raising many issues. We've got to identify the overarching challenge that faces young people today. The principal and strategic issue that will take the life of young people one step forward. And let me also pose this question, that in so doing, we must not only look at the youth from the historically oppressed communities, we must look at youth across the divide, the Afrikaner youth. Who deals with the interests of the young Afrikaner youth? Will the question that you pose here address their needs and aspirations? And I must raise a question, Speaker, that whilst these are delegates, it would have been good that the composition also reflect the diversity of the youth in South Africa. Now, we've got to look at the question affecting the youth from the colored communities. And of course, the youth from the Indian and all other groups in South Africa. So the overarching challenge that we must identify must be a principal challenge that will be accepted and embraced by the youth from all walks and sectors of South African society. And it is very much important that you remember that Gauteng province is a cosmopolitan province. It is a province that has got the diversity of the people of our country. In actual fact, if you look at the clause in the Constitution that says South Africa belongs to all who live in it, or we are united in our diversity. Let me not mix the Freedom Charter with the Constitution. But if we look at the diversity of the people of South Africa, you find it right here in our province of Gauteng. So the challenge that will be identified must be a challenge that will represent the diversity of young people in our province. Now, the other question I'd like to pose to you, and I'm not trying to preempt that discussion, but I'm aware that Statistics South Africa, which I think many of you are aware of, it is the custodian of statistics in South Africa and the numbers. They are the authority on the numbers pertaining to developments in our society and the population. They have posed a question which I would like to add, or which I think should take forward identifying the key question. And they make the point that in South Africa, many young people at all levels of education, they do not complete their studies. The dropout level or the failure rate level are quite high. Bana ba bantši ba thoma sekolo ba ya sekolong ba tsena sekolo empa batswadi ba ba dutšeng mo ba tseba gore bana bao ga ba fetše thuto ga ba fetše se ba ikemišeditše gore ba se dire ba tlogela sekolo mo tseleng, whether ba ko di high school, whether ba ko di university, ba ko di TVET colleges, bana ba bantši ga ba fetše thuto ya bona. Bjanong, I'm sure le na le ka re botša bjalo ka di-delegates to the Youth Parliament gore ke lebaka la eng, what is the main reason why many young people do not complete their studies? And we're saying this because, as one of the international scholars will have said, the task and the role of a youth is to learn, actually identified 3 tasks. Said the first task of the youth is to learn. The second task of the youth is to learn. And the third, last but most important task of a youth is to learn. These are the 3 tasks of a young person. And this was identified by one of the most internationally recognized scholars and said young people must learn and learn and learn. Now, the youth of 1976 understood that. But today, compared to the youth of 1976, the drop rates are too high. And the drop rates from school, from university, from education, fit into the rate of unemployment of young people. So, bana ba sa fetching skolo, they end up not being employed. And the number of the unemployed youth increases. And as the MEC responsible for infrastructure development, I can confirm this point, because many of the young people that have not had the opportunity to learn, we can see them in the expanded public works programs coming there without skills, without income, without any assets, without anything. What I tend to call the ninja youth. The ninja youth meaning youth with no income, with no assets, with no job. The young people that drops out of school, as Statistics South Africa say, they increase and fit into the rate of unemployment, and we see them coming to us through the expanded public works program as a poverty alleviation intervention by government. So we have got, Honorable Speaker, to come to grips with this question. And I think today we've got an opportunity that our young people will say to us, why is it that the majority of young people do not complete their studies and therefore increase the rate of unemployment and join the ranks of youth without income, without asset, without a job? And let me say, without critical skills. Now, this is a question that I'm posing to the youth today. The second issue that I think is quite critical, of course, is the effect of that and what we see out of that. I'm not sure if we should call it the cause or it is the effect. We will hear from the sharp scholars, the young brains that are here will help us to understand that. Many young people face the problem of drugs. Drug addiction, drug abuse. Nyaupe is the most popular product amongst the youth. And we know what Nyaupe can do to the youth. Now, is that an effect or a cause? And I think we'd like a scholarly debate from yourselves about what we see as an effect of young people that are unable to finish and complete their studies, and they swell the ranks of unemployment. And mainly, and not of course the only one, as a result of the use of substances, nyaupe, alcohol, lidipache, and others, we are seeing in our communities, in our societies, high rates of violence, mainly but not only perpetuated by the youth, but the youth are also contributing to the cycle of violence in our communities. So we would like to pose a question to you, and let me compare to the youth of 1976. The youth of 1976, to the extent that I know and subject to correction, Honorable Matala could confirm that. I am yet to see in their fight for the removal of Afrikaans as an impediment to learning, as far as I know, they did not ban or bring down the properties of the apartheid state on that day. So it means the youth of 1976 were not a violent youth. They were very revolutionary youth that had a clear objective of what they wanted to achieve. Now the question I'm posing is, why are our youth violent today? We are seeing this in that violence directed against women, against children, against the elderly. But they must now hand over some of the monies to some of the young people because Nyaupe, the way I understand it, And then we are seeing violence against public property. And I want to argue, Honorable Speaker, that the violence that we are seeing directed to the women, to the elderly, to the children, that level of violence, including amongst youth themselves, it is the same violence that we see in the destruction of property. So we are a violent society. And what is the cause of that? I want to argue that the youth of 1976 were not fanatics of violence. They were not obsessed with violence. They were not the youth inspired by distraction. They were very constructive. They were building a country, a nation. They were removing Afrikaans as a barrier to education. So the question of why our youth contributes to the culture of violence, the culture of low moral values, the culture of low ethics or absence of ethics. Why is it that our communities are becoming very difficult areas for our people to live in? Because of the culture of violence. And mainly, not only, and I'm not blaming the youth, but I'm saying youth as members of communities do play a role in that. So we need some answers on this. And let me conclude, Chair, because I'm not a member of the Youth Parliament, so I should allow the youth to engage with the issues. But I just want to say to them, today, as you'll see outside, our Premier David Makura is leading the provincial government to present to the people of our province a very important intervention by government known as Expo 1 million. I'd like to invite you to interact with the provincial government through all the platforms that are there to get information about Expo 1 million. This is an opportunity created by the provincial government to try to create better opportunities for the youth. For those who want employment, opportunities for those that want to be entrepreneurs, and for those youth who want also to further learn and to pursue their studies. And we do have, as a provincial government, a program targeting the recruitment of about 600,000 EPWP workers as an opportunity to create a platform for those sections of the youth that might not have the required skills to get employment. So Expo 1 million, the 600,000 extended public works program opportunities, all that is our program as the provincial government to try to deal with the challenge that faces the youth of our province. And I'd like you to look at those two programs as to how they can help us to make our youth get opportunities and to improve their situation. Let me also say to you, our province has introduced a very important intervention in the townships of what we call the township economy. And I would also like to say to you that on the provincial government website and of course all the platforms, including the activities of Expo 500, we do have programs that seek to empower young people in our province to improve the quality of their lives. Now, Program Director, allow me to end on another last challenge that I'd like to place to the youth, that it is very much important as young people to understand that when you are young, you are on a journey of growing up to be an adult and, of course, to be an elderly person. Now, because I am in construction, our Department of Infrastructure Development, and the HOD is here with me, we do construction. So we're looking at the life of our youth in the same way that we look at construction of a school. Myself and MEC Lynch Sufi, every month we issue a school to our communities in Gauteng province. Now, the construction of a school, how we do it, is that we first have a plan and we know the activities until we complete the school. Now, I'd like to use that analogy, Honorable Speaker, that our young people must have a plan of life. They must plan their life. Because if they do not plan their life, others will plan it for them. And they will find themselves living the type of life being adults and elders that they did not want to be, because they never had a plan of life. When we build, we know there will be foundation, there will be walls, there will be roof, there will be ceiling, plastering, and all that. Now you need to know as a young person, what are the milestones of your life and where do you want to be? Because if you don't, other people will do that for you and you could find yourself doing things that you had not planned for. So in 1976, the youth would have said, the youth in 1976 would have said, Umfano ngena, and those in MK and the different military wings of our revolutionary movement, Umfano ngena sibhamo zesola. That was very relevant at that time. Umfano ngena plan for a life and including young women uzosola. It's important that our youth have a plan for life to know what type of adults and people they want to be.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. You are recognized, ma'am. Mbuyazi, Honorable Mbuyazi.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, fellow honorable members and the House at large. I'm Honorable Mbuyazi, and as a commission, we'd like to acknowledge the government in respect to youth participation in politics and in governance. We acknowledge the efforts that the corporate government has made by going into the townships and starting initiatives. Government has introduced a number of initiatives for the advancement of equality, the advancement of youth participation in politics and in governance, and the initiative to curb racism and inequality. Further to this, government has also introduced an initiative to ensure collaboration between government and the people, such as the TMR program with the launch of the Riswano Service Delivery War Room System. As the youth of Gauteng, would like to acknowledge the government, the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, for giving us a chance and opportunity to voice out our concerns. We've learned a lot through this process. We'd further like to acknowledge the different efforts made by the government, such as the NYDA, the Love Life, the Relevant Youth Desk, and other governmental programs with the aim to advance the lives of young people. In addition, Madam Speaker, I'd like to say there are programs that are already in place to advance the governmental initiative within the youth. Programs such as government procurements to support youth-owned enterprises. Tsepo 500,000 has been currently reconceptualized, and it is now Tsepo 1 million.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
And to wrap up, Tsepo 1 million is in link with the TMR program of the province. In closure, Madam Speaker, the youth sector parliament is another way that the government is using to increase access for the youth participation.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. You are recognized. Yes.
Honorable members, my name is Peter Tabahadewi. Madam Speaker, I can see people are acknowledging the government of what they've done already.
Raise your voice.
I see people acknowledging the government of what they've done and what not. But what I see now is that the government is busy preaching the youth empowerment, while the people who are preaching the youth empowerment are elders. Tenders are given to old people. Young people can't get tenders. What they get is the subcontracts. And another thing is that our government is busy preaching that every year that we have these 62 billions for the youth and whatnot and so on, and they take it to the NYDAs and stuff. While other people, most people from Mamelodi, we don't know about the TEPO 1 million. They say it started as TEPO 10,000, now it's TEPO 1 million, but most people don't know it. And the information is not shared to all people, it's shared to people who are favored. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, can you please reply to the debate and move for adoption of the Commission's report?
Sanibonani futhi. Ngekama uThemba Mabaso.
Nyabezwa bayakhala abafethu bathu government akabase the government thina si youth yasemzansi yabo mabehleli lapha ema TV bakhuluma lento abayikhulumayo thina iyasidida kancane yabo so kungconywana makwenziwe youth parliament sector ukuthi kuhlanganwe kukhulunywe ngama issues we youth ukuthi kahle kahle youth idingani and then ubaba bekahleli lapha phezulu my honorable member wakhuluma into ebalekile wathi don't come with a shopping list, mawufika yiyo yabo. The youth of 1976 knew exactly what they wanted when they came out of their houses. Baphumile bathi bayolwisa iAfrikaans ingakhabathi mathematics ingakhabathi science yabo. Nina ni youth yase South Africa esikhathini samanje njengoba nikhuluma nifunani yabo. Mina in my own opinion into ekumele itholakale ile youth parliament sector. I see it as a good initiative. If ingeke yenzakale kayi1 kuphela ngonyaka yaqhubeka yaya phambili mhlawumbe kungaba yiyo into ugovernment angasisiza ngayo ngespeed through the legislature njengoba basho ukuthi your view our vision yabo when you just say ukuthi what's your view and then bona bazoyenza show ukuthi it becomes a vision ivela ku television yabo
Move for
simple
adoption. Move for adoption.
Okay, angazi ukuthi baphendulekile bonke kodwa mina into engingathanda ukuthi nikhulume ukuthi nilwela into eyi1 yabo. So moving forward into the adoption, it is I, Honorable Chamber Mabaso, hereby moving forward for the adoption of Commission report on youth then and now in terms of Rule 177, read together with Rule 165, taking in consideration all the contribution made. Done.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I now call for a seconder. Pass the mic.
I Lehlohonolo Desmond good on second the agenda.
Thank you. I now put the question. All those in favor say yes. Yes. All those. Will the secretary please read the second order?
Speaker, Deputy Speaker, honorable members, and all protocol observed. The second order of the day is debate on claiming the rights to education by Honorable Thabang Molatlegi.
I now call on Honorable Thabang Molatlegi, the chairperson of this commission, to present their commission's report. You may stand on your feet, Honorable Molatlegi.
Madam Speaker, Deputy and the table, honorable members, let me greet you all with the inclusion of all the dignitaries in our midst. Honorable members, we will be engaging on reclaiming the right to education, primarily focusing on two fundamentals, which is access to education and quality of education, both in basic and tertiary education. Honorable members, education and skill are a fundamental requirement for creating a prosperous society, and therefore it is evident enough that access to basic education in this new democratic government has drastically increased as compared to the then regime, which access to education was on the basis of race and the previously advantaged. Honorable members, in accordance to the stats that is compiled by Stats SA from the community survey with regards to the number of people without schooling, it has drastically reduced to about 1.4 million since 1996 to 2016. On its own, it simply signifies that there is an increase of about 64.86% increase in terms of access. So therefore, honorable members, this suggests that the pro-poor policies that have been implemented by our government indeed are effective and are working for us. Honorable members, there is an introduction of technical FET colleges as well, and it has been proved to be successful in decreasing a number of unemployment in the youth of the country. We furthermore commend the government, honorable members, for introducing programs such as the KETA program, which offers free career guidance for our learners. Honorable members, the government has made great strides in providing quality basic education. We proud ourselves of the fact that we are making gradually but steady progress in areas such as learner retention, performance in maths and science, high passes or number of passes in terms of bachelors, and performance, high performances from rural areas and townships. The government as well would love to commend the learners, the parents, and the educators for their dedication towards education. Honorable members, our government has thus far ensured that quality education, it is a public good to all in accordance to our Freedom Charter. And thus far, honorable members, there's an introduction of the feeding schemes in all public schools, if not all of them. And this on its own, it speaks to learner concentration during their lessons because their stomach are full, they can be able to concentrate. Honorable members, we need to commend as well the government of Gauteng for introducing the online learning program. That would therefore suggest that learners can as well have learning or access to education in the comfort of their own homes. Honorable members, let us not again forget an element of 30% in terms of the pro-poor policies that has been introduced to government or to the students or the pro-poor students and the working class. The issue of 30%, as I said, most people will demean it and undermine it. But if we look at it, it gives you access to varsity, but if it hinders you to access varsity levels, it creates a job. You can have an opportunity to have a job because there are a number of job opportunities that only require a matric certificate for you to work. So therefore, let us not only focus on saying that this 30%, it is hindering us to access varsity level. Honorable members, for the past 20 years, access to higher education has increased due to the intervention of the state in line of the economic growth and the demand of skilled professionals in the economy. In taking note of the fact that most blacks were previously disadvantaged and hardly could gain access to higher education due to financial hindrances, regardless of their merit. The government therefore introduced funding schemes to aid these finance challenges. We must commend the government, honorable members, for the efforts of introducing programs as well, such as the CATA program that I spoke about earlier on, that seeks to assist us in terms of knowing on how to access varsities, where to go, and what to do. Honorable members, as we speak, and as far as is covering about 75% of the students, and as we speak, honorable members, there is a measure that has been introduced that seeks to alleviate the burden in terms of finances from the working class and the poor of about 600,000 rand a year per family. And honorable members, as I continue, we need to acknowledge the fact that access has increased in terms of this current government, the post-apartheid government. Because as we speak, honorable members, there are new universities that have been built. The University of Mpumalanga and the University of the Northern Cape. On its own, it signifies that there is an increase. There's an increase in terms of access. Honorable members, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, I will check if these people on the speaking list are available. Honorable B. Zikubu, Honorable M. Mosia, Honorable K. Mutweneng, Honorable S. Kumalo, okay. Honorable T. Msiza, okay, we may proceed. Can we have Honorable B. Zikubu?
Thanks very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I will debate from an ideological point of view. I wish to dismiss the ideologically bankrupt notion which seeks to suggest that there is quality education in South Africa. Number one, South Africa is a capitalist country. And in a capitalist country, there is a class-divided society. Now, in a class-divided society, there is a dictatorship of the capitalist class. Now, when there is a dictatorship of the capitalist class, the dominant ideas in the society are the ideas of the capitalist class. Now, the higher education white paper of 1997 speaks about institutional autonomy. It says that it is a high degree of self-regulation and administrative independence with respect to admissions, curriculum, and methods of teaching and assessment. We want to make it appear today that, as the youth of Gauteng, that in a class-divided society, there is no neutral institution, and as such, there is no autonomous institution. Institution of higher learning, in as much as they are a major terrain for the battle of ideas, they are also a contested terrain for the capitalist class to entrench their ideas. The curriculum that we receive today reflects the ideas of the ruling class. You can come and say decolonized education. You can say we are receiving poor education, which is not responsive to the challenges that we're experiencing as a country. We have challenges of unemployment, but the education system does not respond to the question of unemployment. This education system seeks to create a large pool of reserve labor. That is what we have, a large amount of unemployed graduates who went to school, who are studying, but still they are not employed. They are not employed. So you can speak about decolonized education, but we are saying that we want an education system that is free from the ideas of the ruling class. Now, Madam Speaker, on the question of access, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Section 29, gives provision for the right to education. It further mandates the state to make sure that such education is accessible. Now, despite that, we still experience structured systematic exclusion in the institution of higher learning, which manifest themselves in a form of a commodification of education.
Please wrap up.
Which propagates for the exorbitant university fees, skyrocketed upfront payments, the exclusion of students with debt from the university. So, and all those things, they are informed by what we call fake institutional autonomy, which does not exist in a class-divided society. So, we are seeking for the intervention of the state to control the autonomy of the universities, because that is where the problem is. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Zikubu. Thank you very much. Honorable B. Skosana. Honorable B. Skosana. Ota.
I greet you all, honorable members. The education system has opened doors since 1994. The government is ensuring that the access to education there is access to education, although the education is waiting for someone to access the quality education for him or herself. In the past years, the access to higher education has increased due to state in line with the economic growth. And the government also introduced the FET college for everyone to access education. Our government has ensured that
Technical.
education is free for all. And the education system has two categories, which are public education and government.
We have a point of order.
That's my
You may
case.
sit down. Which rule are you standing?
On Rule 89, point of order.
Okay.
the honorable member there is misleading the House.
They are fixing it.
Okay.
They are fixing it.
So the honorable member on that side is, they'll fix it. They'll
Please
fix
keep
it.
quiet.
The honorable member on that side is misleading the House. The education system is not free for us, young people, as yet. That's why we are fighting. So I think, can he please withdraw those words and then please Speaker. Thank you.
You said you are rising on a point of order. Are you rising on a point of order or are you debating? Speaker, can you please proceed?
I rephrase my statement. Basic education. Access to basic education is enough to access any school you want in the world.
Can you please conclude?
I'm done.
Thank you very much. Can we have Honorable K. Mutweneng? Order. Order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and greeting to the House. Honorable O.R. Tambo once said, a nation that does not nurture its youth doesn't deserve a future. Due to our education system that have been implemented over the years, we find ourselves, the youth, being misled. We are literally being disqualified from a good future. How can the youth be nurtured when that 30% pass rate still exists? Isn't that miseducating future leaders? The problem with every curriculum that gets introduced, it is structured in a way that it doesn't position us in a position of specializing in skills where we will be able to stimulate and sustain the economy in the future. Should Western companies decide to leave our country will be in trouble as we depend upon them. The government always seeks investment abroad. Okay. Our government always seeks investment abroad. Why can't they invest in us, the youth? Hence, the question to quality education will always have more questions. How can we say we have quality education while that 30% pass rate still exists? How can we say we have quality education while
There is a point of order. Can you please sit down?
My name is Honorable Simpiwe Ndlovu. I'm rising on Rule 89, point of order.
Okay,
in
thank
South
you.
Africa, Mchana, we don't have a 30% pass rate. Yeah. You need to get 50% on your home language and first additional language to pass. You don't pass with 30% in South Africa, Mchana. Please withdraw that.
Can you please rephrase?
I refrain from that. We do actually have a 30% pass rate. We do. If you can go to high schools, for you to pass one subject, you must at least obtain 30%. That exists, it is not a lie.
Can you sit down? Thank you. Can you please withdraw?
I withdraw, Honorable Makakula.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ndlovu.
Okay. How can we say we have quality education while when you compare our qualification to our neighbor Zimbabwe, you'll find that our qualifications don't have value. They are poor.
Wrap up.
Our education system is one-sided. Our education system, it only prepares learners for a working environment, but who prepares them for life? If you can check, there's a high teenage pregnancy, there's a high rate of youth imprisonment. Even the teachers are well known of being blessers instead of being community heroes. Our brothers are killing our sisters while they should be protecting them instead. Yet we say we have quality education. Why is that? During the previous government, the oppressor was easily identified. But now in democracy, black people are running around like headless chickens.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Thank you, Honorable. Can we have Honorable S. Kumalo? Is that a point of order?
Good day, honorable members. My name is Honorable Lebesi Morgan. I rise on point 77.5, speeches and open time. But the speeches, I'm adding, ma'am.
I'll call open time. Now I'm calling Honorable S. Kumalo.
Thank you, honorable members and speaker. Democracy has only given us political freedom and nothing else. Access is denied to the pure majority because most of them, they can't afford our education. And only a smaller number can be assisted by the government because the resources are still in the hands of the white minority. Our education system does not create independent thinkers or innovators. Yes, we do have professionals, but do they create new industries? No. Most of our educated brothers and sisters, when they are done with school, they go through higher learning only to settle for the comforts of a stable salary. Hence, we call for the decolonized education. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I have Honorable Tim Caesar?
Greetings, honorable members. Honorable members, I greet you all in the humble name of Jesus Christ. I would like to state and adjourn to this committee right now that we have come up with solutions and resolutions that are put in place in the minds of the youth. We know that there are solutions to our problems, gentlemen and women. We understand that this honorable state of mind can be overcome by the intuition of education. Let us increase the access to education and let us increase the funding to education. I hence bring in tabulated forms the resolutions for the funding crisis. We as a commission has saw a stimulation in between our youngsters. We need to create funding to pay for these free costs of schooling. We need to ensure that we are going to introduce an e-tax, an education tax. It's an income tax that is based so that we can actually make monies from corporate companies that are in the JEC. We need to go deep into the pockets of the very people that are out there. We need to make sure that in the stock exchange, they're going to put money aside for education. And then we'll be able to open fundraisers that will build the community's background for educational trust funds. And then going further to transportation, we know that access to education is a problem. We need to create a global transportation, something that can resemble the American yellow buses. A global transportation free for South Africans to take you from home to school. Maybe accommodation will be covered from that, but then we need the fact that transportation is a big factor. And in terms of our politicians, honorable members, we are clearly stating that we have problems as a youth, but the ninja youth that is being spoken of are the people that are in the back lines and they don't have a say. Do we speak for the ninja youth or do we try climb this corporate ladder along with each other? Yes, I understand there's an etiquette we need to come up with, but is there a realization that the youth is coming with their problems to tabulate? Are we tabulating problems that they founded for us? Is the foundation the problem? Or are we the problem in seeing the foundation not being prepared for us? Do we need to create this foundation? Thank you, honorable members. I will conclude.
Thank you very much, honorable member. I now call for open time and I will only allow 4 participants to speak to the debates. Also note that participants who are on the speaking list will not be allowed to speak during the open time. Also, do not forget to mention your name and Rule 77. Thank you very much. Honorable member, you are recognized. Honorable Mukobane.
Good day, honorable members. Ngizwile ikhuluma isikhuluma kodwa I don't hear young people babongelela uhulumeni. The education system in Gauteng is a moving train. Badinga usizo lethu sulusha ukuthi sibaphushe baye phambili. There's a man that I'm proud of, sorry to call you a man, an honorable member, Ubaba Mpisi. Whenever you call Honorable Mpisi, he responds. Education system is moving in Gauteng. 2, opposition parties must assist us. They are part and parcel of government. When the ruling party takes decision for their people, they must stop taking us to court because we are all equal. That's why some of us were saying, in education, policies must be changed, the constitution must be changed so that it can suit us. I guess the constitution of South Africa, ayisivikeli thina siwulusha lwe-South Africa, lusavikela lona the minorities, laba esabashaya ekhethweni 94. We must rise up and support our leadership. Education system in Gauteng is working. Honorable Panyaza, day in, day out, ubusuku nemini uhlezi akumabonakude akhuluma nabazali bethu abatshela ukuthi without abazali lengane akunala zoya khona. Our parents must stand up and also assist the government. Akuna uhulumende ozohamba ayedwa ashiye umphakathi emuva. Let's assist the Department of Education to achieve more. They have achieved. Yebo kunamaphutha bawenzayo kodwa sibasizeni kuya phambili. I submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makubane. Can we have Honorable at the back? You're recognized.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Abiel Bobby Mohanwe. I rise on Molaotheo o theulweng ka tlasa mashome a supileng a metso e supileng feelwane hlano. Honorable Speaker, rising as a young person, very much concerned that if the government really is serious about this dominant population of young people, which makes approximately 37 or above percentage of population in South Africa, we should have at least a minister of youth so that our issues are holistically and integrated in one department to avoid many departments imagine to say they want to intervene. We really need a minister of youth for us to address our issues. However, on the issue on the table, debated here, I also want to appeal. There are 3 fundamental issues that can assist in addressing many ills that we are facing in South Africa. And that is the issue of prioritizing young people, the issue of prioritizing the economy, and the issue of prioritizing education. And all of those, they complement each other. What I'm really saying is, we have education that has, we not prioritize the career education. We only receive career education after you have finished grade 12. And hence we have many dropouts at university level because people don't understand themselves. We want our young people to participate in economy, but we fail to educate them about entrepreneurship in schools from primary level so that we understand when you talk about business, what is it that you are talking about? Because today we are told to register cooperatives and we become orientated into tendership than to formulate our own businesses because we do not have clear clarity as to what is it that we call the business. And I also want to appeal into, we say education is free, yet we say every Friday our young people should come with 5 rands for their casual. What is free about that? Every year we ask our young people to come with the stationery in schools. Where is the free of education in that. So if we say free, it must be free entirely.
you
Without
wrap up,
wasting
Honourable
time,
Member?
I want also to make an appeal that our educators should be capacitated into the psychosocial support so that they are able to can assist young people who are from the different backgrounds psychologically, because that also contributes towards the dropouts of our young people. Without wasting your time, I also want to make an appeal that the age of young people be increased to 40. This thing of 35, it prevents many to us to receive
Thank you very much.
the opportunities.
Thank you very much. Your time
thank
is
you.
up. Thank you. Can we have you, Honorable? You are recognized. Can you please give her the mic?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Hi, Honorables. My name, I'm Honorable Boitumelo Mashikwana. I'm saying here of races of race. As we will say that as we are 50-50, we equal. We're not equal actually. If we were equal, why we, as disabled people are not included? So it comes to when it comes to education. My figure education, tina singama disabled, we are not included. Maspeli scholar, we are sitting at home doing nothing. What should we do? You say we're claiming of education. Yile mele siyenze sihlele lokishini. If tina sinayo right of education maspeli kolo. Nethu government afuna ukuthi asenzele into eziningi ezinhle nathi when it comes to education. Siyafuna, yes, siyavuma, we do come to government mthe uthi sifuna into ezinje, but into esenzela yona ukuthi asineze nje ama free trips lethu ukuthi asivale umlomo. It's not the right thing. So nathi siyadinga isikolo sethu to include nathi ama disabled. Sibonisa abantu ukuthi siyakhona ukuthi kuyenza into ezinhle nathi. Ngama disabled we are not available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Can we have you? Can you please give him the mic?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Thabo Masita. Greetings to the House at its fullest capacity. All right. I'm not gonna go. Isikhathi eside ngikhuluma ngenzani. It's already introducing e-education tax for ini. Like bazo taxelwa for improve ini. Zona lezi ikolo zethu ezama daycare or ama institutes lawa ama higher learning. Yeah, ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much. Can the chairperson please reply to the debate and move for adoption of the Commission's report? Sorry? Okay, it's fine, we'll move forward. Those speaking.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As we conclude, honorable members, I've noted a number of inputs that have been made by members that we are going to take into consideration. But once more, Madam Speaker, let me assist the young people in this regard. When we impose a 30% pass rate, we are saying to it is a minimum requirement, but we do not encourage you to aim for minimum, but you must aim higher. But we are saying the advantage of this is that you will be equipped with a matric certificate.
There is a point of order. Can you please rephrase?
Honorable Speaker, I park in that regard. As I was saying that, yet it may be seemed that you have been hindered to enter varsity, but that is not your target as an honorable young man or young woman. You must aim higher. Issue number 2 that we spoke of, they spoke of career guidance. We spoke that there are issues such as cater programs that speaks to that. So honorable members as well, they must take note of that. Number 3, honorable members, there is an institutional autonomy that one honorable member spoke of. I took the liberty, honorable members, to revisit the Act 101 of 1997. And it says, honorable members, that the minister, let me highlight as well, there is a minister, honorable members, that is looking into issues of higher education. The minister can seek advice from a council on higher education that will be speaking to issues that are related to quality and access and success as well. And that is chapter 2 of the Act, section 51A, 2A to 5. So the issue of institutional monopoly, it is not completely in the hands of the institution, honorable members. The CHE as well has an issue on that. Another issue that we spoke of, honorable members, as I'm about to conclude, an issue of disabled students or learners or honorable members or young people. I would love to highlight, Madam Speaker, that as we speak, in the University of TUT, or rather TUT at Tshwane University of Technology, my understanding is that there are facilities and infrastructures that are primarily focused at the higher level of education, that are primarily focusing on disabled people. There are lectures that have been done for people who are mute, for people who are deaf, for people who are blind. So as we speak, honorable members, there are such facilities. What we need to do as the young people, how then do we access that information so that we can be catered for as well? Honorable members, as I conclude, Madam Speaker, I love to say that a country that is without education, it is a non-growing country. And a non-growing country, it is dying economy. I shall back.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Madam Speaker, as I sit, I, Honorable Thabang Peter Molatehi, Motswana wa Rustenburg, I move for the adoption of the Commission report in terms of Rule 177, read together with 165, taking into consideration all the inputs that have been made by honorable members. I shall back.
Thank you. I now call for a seconder. Can you second?
I, Banele Zikubu, second the adoption of the report.
Thank you very much. I now put the question. All those in favor say yes. All those not in favor say no. The yes have it. The report is adopted. Kindly hand the resolution of the commission to the service officer. I now declare the debates on claiming the right to education closed. Thank you very much, honorable members. The Deputy Speaker will take on.
Okay. Will Secretary please read the third order?
Greetings, Madam Speaker, and the Deputy Speaker, and the honorable members at large. The third order reads as follows. Debate on the Constitution and youth rights.
Thank you. I now call on Honorable Zamogutle Mabena, the chairperson of this commission, to present their commission's report.
Asibonge Somlomo nawe Segela. Honorable members, I've been granted this opportunity to report on what the commission has discussed: the Constitution and youth right. Umgaqo-siseko namalungelo olutsha. Really, I should note that the first commission has already alluded on education, the second as well, and we are also going to touch on education because it's of paramount importance to us. Section 29 of the Constitution of South Africa states that everyone has the right to basic education. The problem in South Africa is that there is no court, either the Constitution explains what is basic education. This then makes it difficult for South Africans to define what is basic education. In this case, Honorable Speaker, we therefore recommend that South Africa establish a Basic Education Act, and we also say, because the World Declaration states that basic education actually includes literacy, we therefore call on this government of ours to put computer literacy and entrepreneurship as part of basic education. And we also have noted that many young people go to TVET colleges, and when they go to TVET colleges, at the end, they are left a township not being employed. Therefore, this leads to many young people seeing that TVET colleges actually has no impact. The TVET colleges are now losing the dignity that they deserve. We propose that there should be an absorption, a clear absorption method on the students that are on TVET colleges, because these are skills development that are being given to young people. Let me also move to labor. Preamble of South Africa states that South Africa belongs to all who lives in it. That is a problem to the current youth. It means even an illegal immigrant, immediately they jump the borders of South Africa, they belong to South Africa. That's what the Constitution suggests. It means that foreigners who come into our country illegally are therefore here to stay and be employed in South Africa. And it also means that foreigners in South Africa, because South Africa belongs to all who lives in it, Speaker, it therefore means foreigners in South Africa are allowed to own our own land just because South Africa belongs to all who lives in it. This is the problem to young people, because as the Honorable Speaker there has said, they were fighting against the domination. Now white people are dominating the land. It means the current situation and the problem that we face as young people is that we should fight the domination of land by white people, because it still exists that we as the minority young people do not own the land, while white young people are inheriting, they are living with trust of their grandfathers and grandmothers, of which is a problem to us. We therefore call on the amendment of the Employment Equity Act. The Employment Equity Act shows how the triple BEE certificate should be occupied, or should be, or how companies should qualify for the triple BEE. To say that it should also include foreigners. Companies which have many foreigners should not get BEE certificate, because this is our own country and we are entitled to live and own majority of the things that are in our own country. Honorable members, there is also a problem with the health system. Section 14 of the Constitution of South Africa says that everyone has the right to privacy. Section 27 says everyone has the right to access health services. However, when people go to clinics, they carry big cards and some small cards. Some are yellow, some are green, some are white. Those who carry big cards, we know good it means that you have a chronic disease, of which that is indirectly discriminating against our own people, of which the Constitution protects us against that. Honorable Speaker, we therefore propose as a commission that there should be an e-health system. We are living in a third generation technological system. It should be the issue of IDs. I mean, honorable members, thank you. I know you are coming for that, Honorable Makakula. I withdraw. Honorable members, I state that people should go to clinics with their own ID numbers. Then the doctors will be able to track all the records. That is living in the current generation. Not that people, when they enter, by the venture of your card, we are able to see which diseases you have. We also call again for the youth department in MEC, a youth MEC in Gauteng, and nationally a youth minister. This will address the issue of young people. There's nothing about us that should be without us. So if there is anything about us, therefore we should be involved. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mabena. I would now like to verify if the following honorable members are present here today. Their names are Honorable N. Gugushe, okay, Honorable T. Mushidi, Okay, present. Honorable C. Johnson. Present. Honorable S. Musito. Present. Honorable M. Siwape. Present. Honorable Z. Mabena. Thank you. I would now like to call upon Honorable N. Gugushe to corroborate on the topic of youth, the Constitution, and youth rights. Thank you. I know. Okay.
One, two. Thanks, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I now feel pressure because I'm standing on defending my government right there. However, I'm rising on the acknowledgement of the government and implementations of policies aiming to benefit young people. The Constitution says that everyone has the right to free education. The government has done so by subsidizing all the basic education in South Africa. The state also implemented or provided opportunities for previously disadvantaged young people to further their studies in higher education. According to the Higher Education of South Africa and NSFAS and Funda Lushaka, more than 52%.
Order. Order taken. People in the audience, please please stay silent, and may you please continue, Mr. Gugushe, Honorable Gugushe.
As I was saying, Honorable Speaker, more than 52% of young enrolled students in higher education complete their studies funded by the government or granted by the government. In 2016, the funding of the Department of Higher Education has awarded 20 million in scholarships and learnerships to thousands of students. TVET colleges has been implemented and also ABET schools to accommodate all those who dropped out and all those who feel that they need to upgrade their studies. According to the employment tax incentive, millions of young people are currently excluded from participating in economic activity. However, the state is aiming to decrease the higher rate of unemployment by 2019 through implementation of programs, skills development, by encouraging young people to study towards scarce skills needed in South Africa. The Public Employment and Deployment Program, such as EPWP, NYDA, TAP 1 million, GEP, are now being thoroughly monitored, evaluated for effectiveness in benefiting the lives of young people in South Africa. According to the National Department of Health, youth or teenage pregnancy rate is high. Hence, the stats shows that 16% of young women aged 18 to 25 years have begun childbearing. 12% of those have given birth, and 3% were pregnant with their first child. However, the government has implemented policies that say everyone has the right to health care service. Hence, it has provided health care services such as clinics, hospitals, to ensure the process of caring and giving birth is safe and practiced in a conducive environment. Also, the National Department of Health has shown that millions of young people are infected with HIV and AIDS. And the government has ensured to provide with the proper medication, such as your ARVs, to everyone that affected.
Please wrap up.
Okay, to wrap up, Honorable Speaker, I would like to say to our government that as much as they come to the masses in the ground for their votes when elections come, they must also do the same to provide learnerships and programs that will uplift us and give us opportunities to be better people in life. Long live to the spirit of young people. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gugushe. I would now like to call upon Honorable T. Mushidi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable T. Mushidi, and I'd like to greet honorable members. With with me standing up, I stand to applaud and acknowledge the programs and policies that are implemented with accordance with the Constitution and youth rights. According to our Constitution, Chapter 2, subsection, subsection, Chapter 2, Chapter 2, Section 32, says access to information. The government has implemented your Lula Way job centers, where these are implemented across 9 provinces and has touched almost 55,000 job seekers. These are there to provide information to the youth, and government gazettes are there. We cannot say the government is not giving us information because the information is there. It's just that we don't want to get it. And moving to Section 32 of the Chapter 2, policies have been drawn. And I know, honorable members, you're going to attack me with these policies are not implemented. But we should acknowledge the fact that the government has drawn the Youth Employment Accord of 2013, the Skills Accord of 2011. Moving forward, in our Constitution Chapter 2, Section 27, which deals with healthcare, in the health sector, a policy has been drawn for the youth, which is called the Adolescent and Youth Health Policy. This policy addresses issues that are youth-oriented programs and technology to promote well-being of the youth, to provide comprehensive healthcare services to the youth. Moving forward again, honorable members, I'd like to put it to you that our government is also having a policy called the National Youth Policy 2020. This policy aims to develop youth capabilities to make sure that we as the youth by 2020, we can access.
Sorry, Honorable Mushidi, there's a point of order.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Honorable Speaker, I rise on Molaoteo, Mashume a Robong, Mitsu Emine. I heard the Honorable Mushidi saying that information is available. It is only of us not going to access the information. I want to relate to that. I went to NYDA, national office in Midrand before it moved. I requested a national youth policy. I failed to receive it. I requested African Youth Charter document. I failed to receive it. I requested a constitution. I did not receive it. They referred me to internet to download it and print it somewhere. So I wanted the honorable member to put facts straight, to put the facts straight, because there's no such. If they say information is available, why are we unable to can access it? Yeah, thank you.
Honorable Speaker, can I address you on that? The Lula Way internet cafes that are there are meant for that. If you feel that you need the Constitution, please go and visit one and stand up in Melody. You will get it. And moving forward, there's a section 29 of our Constitution says everybody has the right to access education. It is said that young women in South Africa miss 25% of their schooling due to going to their menstruation cycle. The NYDA that a lot of people are criticizing today has put an initiative called Sisters for Life.
Please wrap up.
Thank you, I shall. The NYDA has launched Sisters for Life, which deals with the distribution of sanitary pads to ensure that young people go to school. And I would like to applaud again the Department of Education to giving everybody, especially at the high school, I can relate to that. We used to get dignitary packs. And as well, it is important to acknowledge the means by the Department of Education to ensure that they also provide health education. It is evident in the teenage
Time is
pregnancy
up.
column. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable S. Mushidi. I would now like to call upon Honorable S. Ndlovu.
Thank you very much, Deputy Honorable Speaker. My name is Simpiwe Ndlovu from Ekurhuleni. I was deployed to be against your government. Yeah. Yeah. Honorable members, we acknowledge that the government has done enough in terms of putting funds in our education system, but they have not done enough in making sure that those funds are being utilized accordingly. You can put millions and millions, but if you don't know where those millions going, you will never achieve anything. Our members here are speaking about the type of 500,000 about NYDA. Good, there are programs that the government is piloting to assist the issues that are facing young people. Currently, 50% of young people are unemployed in South Africa. So meaning those programs are ineffective, are not working. So we need to change our strategy and tactics. As the ANC document states, we need to change our strategy and tactics in order to make sure that we address youth issues. Our constitution is speaking of in section 2, is speaking of rights, but it's not specific in terms of youth rights, our constitution. They should be clear that we need to have our own youth act that is going to speak lezo sho ezokhuluma ngeenkinga zethu as young people. Because currently what we see, government is playing hide and seek with us. Currently we have 1 million type of 500,000 next door, but we don't even know a type of 50,000 that started in Pretoria in 2013. Guti employer abantu abayingaki. Nenye into sesiku 50,000 manje. I was part of that 50 and I'm part of this 50,000 ngisubmite yonke into abayifunayo, but I was not employed or given funding. I'm not the only one. And another thing, the government, our government is doing, I can say, I'm a mistake amaning. In 2013, they implemented what the usual subsidy to address our issues with youth. They were paying companies to employ us, which is wrong. I believe you don't need to pay our companies to employ us. You just need to draft the legislation that is going to force the companies to employ us, not give them money. Because meaning, even meaning our positions are there. They don't want to employ us. And another thing, in the constitution is not protecting us as young people. As young black people, let me say, as young black people. Because Abelung, they are still benefiting using our constitution.
Please
currently.
wrap up.
Okay.
Time is up.
Can I wrap up very quickly, Mchan?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Time is up.
Thank you very much, honorable members.
I would now like to call upon T. Shangisa.
Thank you, honorable members. I now greet you all in the House. I also stand to applaud the government for the policies implemented, whereby a number of youth are more interested in spending their time, mostly in social media each day, than they do in politics. And the next thing, they blame the government for their ignorance. For an example, like the TEPO 1 million.
There's a point of order.
I'm rising on Rule 89. You cannot say young people are ignorant. Why are we here if we are ignorant? Please withdraw that.
Honorable Ndlovu, your point of order has been taken.
Honorable Ndlovu, I'm not referring to anyone specifically in the House, but the youth of South Africa as a whole. I withdraw the statement. For an example, like the TEPO 1 million, whereby majority of the youth knew nothing about. So we cannot blame the government for our lack of information. The government also created learnerships, internships to increase employment, and we cannot expect to be all employed at once. There are job posts now whereby they only require grade 9 and 10, where they try to accommodate everyone. Even the disabled are also required to apply. The youth has been given adequate platforms to raise their concerns because we wouldn't have been here today if such opportunities were not given to us. It's only unfortunate that it's not everyone who's exposed to such environments. There's now social pages whereby you can inbox your inquiries and suggestions. They may not reply at the same time, but surely they will respond to your reviews. We need to surround ourselves with people who are more willing to learn and share information. As the youth, we are the future of our society in politics, business, science, culture, and education. There's no better time than now. As students at universities, we need to realize this and do something about it. We need to take up the mantle of liberty and human dignity and defend it unapologetically. At the same time, we have some corrupt thoughts and negative ethical traits which must be removed from our character. We, as the youth of today, have no conversation, we don't listen, and refuse to take interest in anyone else. This generation
Please wrap up, Honorable Shangisa.
This generation has a series of understandings and emotions that the previous generations did not possess. I now wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Shangisa. May the people in the audience please keep your noise level low. Thank you. I would now like to call upon Honorable M. Sewape.
Thank you, Speaker. Good day, honorable members and the House at large. I am Honorable Motlatso Nono Sewape. As I stand in Commission 3, talking about Constitution and Youth Right, I am in the opposition side. Chapter 2, subsection 2, this Constitution also states that we are to be treated equally and to be addressed the same. But we have disabled youth who are not so acknowledged, and so, yes, there are some programs, but yet there are some who are still neglected and are oftenly brushed off and showered with free gifts, as Honorable Bitumela has stated. What we propose and ask for as youth and the Commission is that let there be more institutions to develop and assist the disabled youth to reach their needs and capabilities of furthering their abilities and help them to better their professions or what they are good at. We have a challenge of obtaining jobs in our country. Employment has been created in the low-skilled sectors such as retail, construction, and in lower-end private services, such as security and household services. These sectors are characterized largely by insecure employment and low wages. Labor policies are not recognized within the private and public sectors. The Act is there, but does not focus in improving the youth.
Sorry, Honorable M. Sewape. Would the people in the audience please keep your noise level low? I kindly ask. You may continue, Honorable M. Sewape.
Thank you. Despite the government's efforts to tackle poverty to the lack of access of employment and decent jobs, has impeded efforts to take poverty and inequality. Therefore, we propose that the government improves the quality of jobs in the low-skilled sectors, and also it will also be important to focus in ensuring effective implementation of national skills development frameworks. The implementation needs to be improved to ensure these resources are used effectively. We also propose that let there be labor market activation strategies to enhance the employability of young people.
Honorable M. Sewape, please wrap up.
Okay. In conclusion, I'll wrap up, okay. The policies that speak for us as young people and also enhance the development system to provide adequate knowledge, it will be more important to focus in ensuring effective implementation of the national skills development, as I said before. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable M. Sewape. I now call for open time and will only allow for 4 participants to speak to the debate. Also note that the participants who are on the speaking list will not be allowed to speak during open time. Also, do not forget to mention your name in Rule 77.7. Thank you. Oh, there are point of orders. I'll take yours, Honorable. Oh, open time. Oh, Honorable, you will be noted. Honorable,
It seems the speaker's panel is always biased to that side. Not recognizing us. We were elected democratically to
okay.
the views of the voice of the president. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. I'll take Honorable Matari, and then I'll take Honorable Caesar. Then I'll take.
Can we have order? Can we have order? Thank you very much. Honorable Makakula, you are recognized. You are recognized. Can I have order? Can I have order? You are recognized. You are recognized at the back. He said only 4 people will participate. Thank you very much.
Honorable, please sit down.
Honorable, Honorable member, we gave you a chance. You did speak, so let them speak. Thank you very much. Can we have order? Can we have order?
Can we have order? Honorable Matari, may you please speak?
Ke rata go le dumedisa ka moka ya emeng pele ga lena ke Honorable Tshepo Mahlare. Honorable members, ke a le kwa le tshwere mo le tia moropa ka moka mara go na le dilo tse dingwe ka re le di tlogela morago. Ke rata go tseba gore e ka ba mmušo o reng ka di-rape tše e leng gore di tlhola ke matitšhere a rena mo dikolong ba reipa bana ba rena. Because that thing e eda gore the future leaders tša rena they're dying inside. Ba feleletša ba dula ko gae. Ba ba reipa ba dula gae, the teachers are only expelled. Go reng go sa be le molao o gatellang o ba šitiše gore o ba time monyetla gore ba ka tla ba gobatša bana ba bang ba rena ka yona tsela eo ya di-rape. Engwe gape ke lebeletšeng ke gore they created the pre-vocationals for bana ba ileng gore ba ile ba šitwa ko go ka tšwetša dithuto tša bona pele ba drop out. Go na le di-levels, go na le di-pre-vocationals. When you go around asking those kids ba ba di-pre-vocationals, ba addressiwa ko re bona go ya le ka mokgwa ba ba tšeang ga ona ba ba tšea as if ke bana ba ba išitšweng dikolong tša di-domcop. Please, I urge to the government gore please bring back the activities tše be di leng ko dikolong tša di-handworks. Di dire gore bana ba rena ba be le takatso ya thuto. Bring back dilo tša bo religious. Bana ba rutiwa molao ka mogae, but then ga ba thoma ba itšwa ka mogare ga jarata, molao šala gona mo gate-ing. Lebaka le leng la go dira gore youth ya rena le re ke rena ba le ba go dula rena le violence is because ge nke be le gore ka mogae ba ruta molao, yes ra o kry-a ge re fitlha sekolong gape go ba le dilo tše dintše e leng gore go na le bo religious di kgone go ruta bo ubuntu re tsebe gore batho ba hlomphiwa batho ba bagolo ke eng. Nto ke yona nto be tlo dirang di-activities tše be di tlo dira gore be le takatso ya thuto. And then another one ki the teachers study the crèche. The teachers study crèche, most of them they are not qualified. And the mola tuto in a foundation. Gona mo crèche ki mo tuto e thomang gona.
Please wrap up.
Nna ne ke gopela government gore e dire di workshop e kgone go ruta batho ba di crèche gore bana ba rena ba rutiwa jwang ba se ruwa jwang e se ka be ba noela di crèche go ya go ruta bana ba rena go changewa pampers le go opela ba driller around. Ke a leboga.
Thank you. I'd now like to call upon, is it honorable member there at the back to speak.
Afternoon, honorable members. My name is Honorable Litolin Daniel. Yeah, I rise here on point of order 70, rule 77.7. When it comes to education, my chairperson has already, what do you say?
Sorry, we don't allow point of orders in open time. You may,
Yes, it's an open
you
time.
may descend.
It's an open
Thank
time.
you.
It's an open time.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, my speaker. When it comes to education, when it comes to TVET colleges, our accreditation, when it comes to diplomas and our diplomas in universities, they don't have same level. It seems like those who get diplomas in universities, they are one who they acknowledge than us who got N1, N4, N5, N6, and internship. It means that you are recognized behind. And when it comes to labor, the most thing that accordingly individual, I think the thing that can increase our labor in South Africa is agriculture. Because
Order.
only through agriculture we have everything. We can put food on the table through agriculture. When it comes to health, I think that our government must introduce more sports in our school in Ekasi. So like cricket is not there, rugby is not there. It's only soccer, netball, girls and boys soccer. I need more improvement on the sports so that we can move a healthy living, all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member. I would now like to call upon Honorable Magagula.
Madam Speaker, there's a fundamental point here, or a point of importance that we should outline. It seems this constitution is still having loopholes, but we understand because of that sunset clause. We cannot have in a country young people not knowing the constitution of their country. It means in the educational syllabus, introduction into law should be a compulsory subject, so that when you exit your merit or metric level, you are able to interpret the constitution or know it. It can be in China, a grade 2 pupil who's young, telling you about the economic policy of China, but in South Africa, a constitution is known by foreigners than citizens. 2, we cannot have an education that is not structured according to the economic activities that we have. Having a Pickleton factory class and a TVET right next to that Pickleton factory class, but you will never find a syllabus of manufacturing class in that TVET. In fact, what skills is that TVET giving to South Africans? Those are the things that we need to check. And also, I'm quite disturbed because it says youth right and there's children's rights and women's rights in the constitution. Maybe we're saying we should include them so that they can be seen, we can read it very well. On the issue of the national youth policy, I'm calling for a view that it is important on Chapter 9 institution to have a youth service commission that will oversee policy implementation of national youth policy, because there's no people or department responsible for overseeing of the implementation of the national youth policy. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I will now take I will now take the honorable member there. Unfortunately, I can only accommodate 4.
Dumelang kaofela ntlo ka botlalo ba hlomphehi. Na issue ya ka imo education inequality. Le ska le balang hona le batho ba tshwanang le bo di drop outs, bo di bane ba from ka di 70s, 80s, le di 90s. Ane they are still youth. Ska le balang ntwe eo. Ane ene hodima mo batho ba ke bona ba entseng education ele e ba reng ena le value ele. Aggravated. Agar if by nated and nated no ha isa yetsiwa le reng ka bale ba facing ka di percent tsa bo ma 40 because hona no is lesser than 40 le reng ka bona and hape who monitors hore NSFAS e ya ho batho ba right ba hlophehileng e seng ho batho ba di suburbs ke a lebo.
Thank you very much, honorable member. We're still waiting for the Premier of Gauteng, Honorable David Makuru. So I'll take another 4 people, 4 hands, 4 hands. You are recognized. You'll be the first one. Wait. You'll be the second one. You'll be the third one. You'll be the 4th one. Thank you very much. Can you please have order? Can you please have order? Can you please have order? Honorable, please stand up. You are not raising hands. Honorable members, I asked you to raise your hands and you didn't. There is a point of order. There is a point of order.
Speaker, I'm rising on Rule 89, a point of order. Members are not allowed to speak twice in a debate.
Okay.
In this case, we are giving the same members an opportunity to speak. There are those who have not spoken. Please recognize those members. Speaker, do not be intimidated by members who are forcing you to pick them. Everyone is equal here. That's what the Constitution gives us, and that's what we are talking about.
Thank you very much, honorable member. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ndlovu, please sit down. I would now like to call upon Honorable Ngoveni.
Were you recognized? Were you recognized? You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Ngoveni.
Can
You'll
you
speak
kindly
after.
protect me, Madam Speaker? Can I be protected, Madam Speaker?
Yes.
Can I be protected?
You may sit down. Stand up. Yes. Can you please sit down at the back? You, yes. Thank you.
Let me remind you, you've got powers to make decisions. And then those decisions are given by you, by the particular constitution you are talking about. So, Honorable Speaker, at no point in time that you are going to decide to nominate people and we speak and we complain and then we influence your decision and you change and you want to choose other people because of other people that are raising issues. So, Honorable Speaker, can you be consistent? Can you focus and push your duties and your deputy and your table?
Thank you very much. You know what? Okay. We'll come for another round. Thank you very much. You don't have to fight. Can we have you, Honorable Ngowen? Can you please sit down? Honorable Ngoveni, can you proceed? Can we have the mic? Please sit down. You're making noise.
Greetings, honorables. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll be raising on issues of quality of education.
You are not recognized. Can you please sit down? Sit down. Sit down. I'll close the debate. I'll close the debate.
Honorables, you are out of order.
I'll close the debates. Can you please sit down? Can you please sit down? Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. As I was saying, I want to touch base on the issues of quality of education, mainly focusing on statistics within our educational system. In South Africa, we have over 200 companies participating in the recent surveys. And within those companies, we have 80% indicating they were experiencing a skills crisis due to our quality of education, which is also leading to young people not being unemployable. And also on a second point, Madam Speaker and the honorables in the House, we have 800,000 high-skilled positions that are not filled within our South African companies. And this shows a crisis in our educational system because young people, we tend to say we are, can I say we are qualified, but trust in me, we are not employable. And also raising questions within those employable and unemployable crises. Checking on our institution or our higher education levels, we have roughly 22,938 schools that do not have libraries spaces that can be built to assist in us having a good quality of education.
Can you conclude?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Within that percentage that I'm touching base on, we also have 19,541 schools that have libraries, but we see them being delayed or not being given a platform to access those libraries or to use them to their advantages.
Thank you very much.
In my conclusion,
Honourable
Madam
member, your time's
Speaker,
up. Thank you.
SA has national employment rate crisis.
Thank you very much. You can sit down.
Consisting of 25%.
Your time's up. Can you please take the mic?
Madam Speaker, you are out of order.
There is a hand, honourable member. You will speak.
They are not allowed to speak because. Good day, honorable members. Standing here before you is a proud Tsonga boy from Mamelodi, Honorable Morgan Lebesi.
Point of order. Point of order.
Point of order. In Mamelodi, the Tsonga speaking and.
There is a point of order.
Thanks, Madam Speaker.
You are out of order. You'll be suspended. They will take you out. They will take you out.
Madam Speaker, I'm rising on a point of order.
Thank you.
I think it's unfair for our commission here now because we're having now 12 open time members to speak on our commission, whereas we had 4 on our own other commissions. I have one suggestion, my speaker there, Guti. How about we close this one, our commission, then we can continue the discussions and debates, because now it's unfair to us. We're having 12 members now who have spoken already, and on the other commissions, we only had 4. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Thank you, member. I'm from Commission 3, if you didn't know. I'd like to talk about
you don't have to reply.
The Xitsonga speaking and Chivenda speaking people from Mamelodi who are in high school. They are denied an opportunity to learn the technical subjects.
You don't have to reply.
they are denied an opportunity to learn technical subjects. We do have 2 high schools that are doing technical subjects, which is Mudiri Technical and Pateng. They are doing Zulu and Sepedi only. So we don't know where's the equality in our government when we speak of that. And we are talking, we say please to the government that please do not program us to speak on things that favor you here in the parliament. We plead for the next year's sitting to be like people must come with their own topics. We have topics that we should talk about. Women are being raped, nyaupe, drugs, dropouts, foreigners who settle for cheap labor,
Can you please
teenage
conclude?
pregnancy. Thank you. And we have unions that favor people who do corruption in our country. Those are topics we should be talking about, not the topics that are
Thank
being
you very
chosen
much.
for us.
Can we have order in the gallery? Can we have order? Thank you very much. Honorable member at the back, you are recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Lawrence Mtimunye from Mamelodi. Yeah, I would like to state, but we know we do appreciate that apartheid was there. And we know that our leaders and our parents fought against the apartheid regime. But now I'm having a problem. The very same people who claim that they've given us this freedom, that the very same people who are oppressing us as the youth. We don't get opportunities because these people, they claim as if you fought apartheid, you have to benefit. Those who do not fight apartheid don't benefit. So we hear people talking about free education, but we don't hear people saying quality education. How can we get quality education when you as a teacher, you are teaching and then you started teaching during Bantu education and then they expect you now to perform the same miracles you did during that syllabus. The syllabus keeps on changing, but there's no constant development of our teachers. They don't get proper development because they're still using the same method they use, but they expect them to perform miracles during this
Can
new
you please
syllabuses.
wrap up, honorable member?
Okay, so I'd like to conclude by saying the other problem is that we cannot have people who are supposed to be pensioners fighting for position in parliament. While we are there, we can lead this country. It's about time these people go and play with our kids at home and give us this country to run and enjoy it.
Thank you
Speaker.
very much.
I will now call the chairperson, Honorable Mabena Z, to reply to the debate. Order. Would the people at the back please keep your noise level down? Thank you. Honorable Mabena, you may speak.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Really, just to reply to the debate, we have to state that we are very proud of our own Gauteng Department of Education. The things of tablets and the use of smartboards shows that there is development in the education system, and we really acknowledge that. I don't know, Honorable Essendrove, who said that he's been deployed, and he has been deployed to oppose this government. I need to tell him then to go and tell those people who have deployed him that moving from TEPO 500,000 to TEPO 1 million, it's a very good initiative because it indicates that we are addressing the issue that there are many young people who are unemployed, therefore there should be many opportunities. I don't see anything wrong with that. And in fact, it should be noted that what we need is stats. When you say TEPO 500,000, are there 50 people who are already employed? There should be an analysis and a stat of how many people are yet employed so that we can move to TEPO 5 million. It can be a good thing. Indeed, youth rights, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is the supreme law of the country. If an act needs to be established, it needs to be established through parliament. It's not a bad thing. The Constitution in schools, Honorable Makakula, Constitution in school is included in the life orientation. So when you're doing life orientation, of which it's compulsory, the clause or a module, part of it, or chapter, it's Constitution. So those who have passed matric know about it. It's fine. I'll listen to the
point of order.
The honorable chairperson maybe lacks to listen properly. I've said introduction to law. not the constitution, the manner in which I be Gauteng, but the chairperson misleads us. In life orientation, it has been, there's no constitution in fact. It deals about how life must orientate. There's even no lives working personal skills on self-mastery. The reason why even also having social is, so he must not come and mislead us here. Maybe he must go and gather his facts properly, and then he comes back. He will understand when we say introduction to law, what are we saying?
No. Thank you very much, honorable member. I don't know whether constitution is no longer law now. Because if it's there in the life orientation, it's law. So for you, if it's not law, it's fine to you. Let's proceed with the important issues. Honorable Speaker, I need to adopt this report. However, we need to note as young people that we are being abused. This is being addressed to the safety and security of this province. Let us not be abused by criminals in the taxi who are taxi drivers. Speaker, please protect me.
Unfortunately,
a speaker cannot stand. Can I reply to the debate?
Recognized. You are not recognized, Mr. Honorable Magagula. Honorable Mabene, you may continue.
I think you have ruled. They should sit down. It's fine. This is what is happening. Honorable Speaker, can I proceed and address young people issues here in this house, of which it's of paramount importance? This is what is happening. Drivers are violating us in the taxi industries. We are being driven and transported by criminals. People who shoot guns at any time when they want. Now there is a strike, they stop a truck in the street to block the road. We therefore propose that because it's our right as young people, all drivers and taxi drivers should be vetted before they can even enter into the system. Honorable Speaker, I, Honorable Zamogutle Mabena, move for the adoption of the report, the Constitution and Youth Rights, as according to Rule 117, read together with Rule 165, with all the contribution made. I so move. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Avoid all those things. Youth matters
Thank you,
are
Honorable
important.
Mabena. Thank you, Honorable Mabena. I now call for a seconder. Order. I now call for a seconder. Okay.
Can you please keep quiet? Can we have order? Can you please keep quiet? We acknowledge and honor the Premier of Gauteng, Asangena. Can you please clap hands for him? I now call for a seconder. Yes.
Thank you, Speaker. I, Honorable Torofatso Mushidi, second the Commission's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mushidi. I now put the question. All those in favor say yes. Yes. All those not in favor say no. The yes have it. The report is adopted. Kindly hand the resolutions of the Commission on the Constitution and Youth Rights over the service officer. I now declare the debate on Constitution and Youth Rights closed.
It's you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the honorable members for their contributions in their various debates. I would further like to take this opportunity to welcome Chairperson of Education, Honorable J. Mpisi, to comment on the debate and receive the resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker of the Youth Parliament. my task is it's a small task to evaluate the discussions. But first, allow me to acknowledge the Premier of our province, Honorable David Makura, our Speaker in absentia, Honorable Ntombi Mekwe, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Uhuru Milwa, our MEC for Infrastructure Development, Honorable Jacob Mamabulo, our Chair of Chairs, Honorable Nomantu Nkomora Lehoko, and the Deputy Chair of Chairs, Honorable Madlala, the Speaker of Youth Parliament and the Deputy Speaker, councillors who are with us here today, our esteemed invited guests, Sanbonani, Dumelang, Inhlekani, Ndimasiari, Goeiemiddag, Natul. Deputy Speaker of the Youth Parliament, I think we're sitting down observing the debate as the young people were articulating their positions. But I must also indicate that it is good for youth and for young people to be robust in their engagement. We need radical youth who can change a lot of other things. And I don't think you need to take the work that you have done here very light. You have done a very good job. However, I must also indicate, I was reminded by some of the members here behaving like other members in our own provincial legislature, not actually respecting the presiding officers here, but continuing to do things that are unbecoming. And I was saying that to Honorable Mamabulo that that one is the member like that other member there. However, I won't mention the names. But I must also indicate that the work of Parliament, it's a platform for the battle of ideas. It's a platform where young people like yourselves and ourselves at the provincial and the National Assembly, when we engage, we are robust, we are not being personal, however, addressing the needs of our people. I must also, Speaker, say that our province, Gauteng, is one of the best provinces run and managed in this country. I want to repeat that. Gauteng province is one of the best and well-managed provinces in the country so far. You are sitting here today in your hundreds, and here are young people given the opportunity by the legislature and the government led by the African National Congress to engage on issues that are affecting young people today. And I must say that we are quite excited about the issues that you have raised. The ruling party, which is the African National Congress, is going to the policy conference in the next few weeks. We are going to that policy conference having taken some of your ideas which needs proper policy formulation that we must deal with. And we are taking those very, very serious. Today, young people are facing different challenges from the youth of 1956, the youth of 1966, the youth of 1976, and the youth of the 80s and the 90s. Today, you as young people are facing major challenges which you as the young people must confront. One of those is unemployment, HIV and AIDS, and the issue of crime. We are quite aware that young people and young women in particular are being killed by their partners or by those that are calling themselves rapists in our country. These are some of the things that young people must confront today. The issues of abuse of alcohol, it's a challenge. And as I was listening to the young people engaging in this platform, I realize how the gap between ourselves and the young people is. And we need to close that gap so that we are able to engage with yourself properly. The Youth Parliament, it is a structure every year. And I must say from 2014, Speaker of the Youth Parliament, we have seen the success of what comes out of the Youth Parliament, which is actually given to the different departments to respond to. And I must say to you, we have a system in the legislature, which we call a resolution tracking system. When we take these resolutions here today, these resolutions are not going to sit with me as the portfolio committee chairperson. I must make sure that the deputy chair of chairs and the chairperson of committees, as well as the speaker, we process these resolutions to the relevant department. And if any other resolutions need the premier to respond to, we definitely make sure that through what we call OCPOL, which is the portfolio committee that deals with the issues of the premier and the legislature, then process those resolutions. So these resolutions here that we are going to receive today are the resolutions that we are going to take forward. But I must also indicate that, as I agree with Honorable Mama Bolo, today that young people must understand nothing will happen in our province in particular without the input of the young people if that particular initiative is for the young people. And here we are led in this province by people who led the youth structures in this country. Student movement were led by our premier, and Honorable Mama Bolo was also the leader of SASCO in his heydays. I agree, Chair and the Speaker, that some of the things we'll definitely have to engage with going forward. But I must also touch on this important matter. We are the first province that has introduced the ICT program in our public schools as Gauteng. No other province has ever done that except ourselves in Gauteng. And we are rolling that out. That is why we have in our grade 12s. Our grade 12s are currently using tablets. Grade 11s are using tablets. We are rolling out now to grade 10s and going down to grade 8s. And I can tell you that there's no teacher where we have a smart classroom where a teacher does not have a laptop in this country and in this province in particular. We are going to make sure that by the year 2019, when this term of administration ends, all these grades, grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, will definitely be using the ICT program for learning and teaching. Only in Gauteng, you can find that. Today, we are building schools. We are building schools. You may mistake those schools as a mall if you drive around. We are building the best schools in the country, and other provinces are now following suit. Deputy Speaker, I must say that young people, in as much as you have the rights, but those rights must not lead you to do anarchic issues. Those rights must be able to say, as you are arguing here today, the issues you have raised must be the issues that can find a resonance with the young people out there. Because when you are delegated to speak in this particular youth parliament, you are not representing yourself as a young person. If you come from Ekurhuleni, you represent the voice of Ekurhuleni. If you come from Sidibeng, you represent the voice of young people in Sidibeng. So you must not speak as an individual as you speak, but speak on behalf of the youth where you come from. We are excited that our government and our legislature has made it a priority that young people must get opportunities. The TSEPO 1 million is not just a simple rhetoric statement. It is a statement. That's why today, after here, most of you don't rush to go home. You must join the premier and the executive of our government here. Go into the stalls, go and listen to what the government is saying to the young people. 362,000 Since TEPO 500,000 was introduced, 362,000 young people, majority of them are now either employed, some of them are now running their business that is running in our province through the projects that our government has introduced. So this is not a rhetoric. But uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khoneni? If you don't go out, you won't get it. But if you go out, you will definitely get it. In conclusion, Chair, I must indicate to you that on behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I must say to you that we are quite excited that the legislature has given us this opportunity. And we want to interact with the young people after this. We want to interact with you to share what we are doing as a legislature and what is our government's programs are all about. But we want you not to sit back and say, "I-government ayingenzeli lutho." This government, led by the Premier David Makura, does care about young people. And we know majority of our young people are not employed. Majority of our young people are not educated. But this government will not leave anyone without any opportunity of surviving in this country. So we want to do that. We love you, we want to thank you, and we want to say to you, Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, job well done. We have listened to you, and we are going to implement the resolutions. Thank you very much. Can I receive the resolutions?
Thank you, Honorable Mpisi.
You must officially hand them over, Speaker. The 3 resolutions. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would further like to take this opportunity to welcome our Premier of Gauteng, Honorable David Makura.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Lindokuhle PK, Deputy Speaker Bukamuso Tlwaele, honorable members of the Youth Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of the Gauteng Legislature, the Chair of Chairs of the Gauteng Legislature, and the Deputy Chair of Chairs and MEC Mamabulo. Honorable members, I would like to first say that this address that's called honorable has to be honorable. I wish all of us shouldn't be called honorable before we demonstrate and prove that we are honorable. And that includes us in the House, in the legislature, and the other big house in Parliament. Because if we lose the meaning of what honorable means, anything may be honorable, even the most dishonorable things. So you might be dishonorable members, but I think so far you are honorable members. I start there because you have received all the political speeches. Today you debated the reports. I had only this. I came in at the end because we are launching today TEPO 1 million, which is a program of the youth of our province. It's a program that marks the beginning of a season of hope for the youth. MEC Mamabulo came to address on behalf of our government. I was pulled out there and told I must come and greet you. So I want to greet you, honorable members. That's what I am coming to you. Greetings, honorable members. And I want to wish you a happy Youth Day because your parliament is meeting on the eve of Youth Day, which starts tomorrow. The reason you must be honorable, truly honorable, and the reason we must be truly honorable is that we must remember that many young people sacrificed their lives for our country to be where it is. Youth Day is a national day to pay tribute to those youth martyrs, to send a message out there that they did not die in vain, to also send a message out there that the struggle continues. Those generations of young people who lost their lives wanting better education, wanting a better country must know when we come together like this today and tomorrow, we must say we are recommitting ourselves to that vision, to build a better country in which no one is left out. So with SEPO 1 million, which we were launching today, it's really an agenda for the youth, by the youth. But it's a partnership that places the youth at the center of everything we are trying to do in our province. I want to say that I can say without fear of contradiction that as the ANC-led government, the fifth administration, that there never before has an ANC administration placed the youth at the center of everything it's doing than this administration is doing. I say it to all of us who have been in previous ANC administrations from 1994, that this is the truth. There's no administration that has placed the youth at the center of what it does more than the fifth administration has done. And you know why? It's because youth, the problems of today's generation of youth are a global problem. Youth unemployment is not just a problem of the South African economy, it's a structural problem of the global economy. Every country is struggling in different degrees, in varying degrees, with the problem of the danger of youth unemployment, which leads to youth marginalization and exclusion. And there's no country that can talk about the future if it neglects its youth. Any country that neglects its youth, as O.R. Tambo would have said, neglects its future. So worrying about the youth is to worry about the future. And investing in our youth is to invest in the future. And SEPO 1 million is a statement of faith in our youth. It's also a statement of hope that we have without placing the youth at the center of everything that government does, we can forget. Because in our Gauteng province, 2.7 million young people are out of school and out of work. I want you to record that, Madam Speaker. 2.7 million young people are out of school and out of work. 100,000 young people have graduated either from college, TVET college, or university. They are unemployed graduates. They are in that 2.7 million. There's 3 million young people who are in basic education, in TVET colleges, and in universities combined. The 3 million are better because they are in the system. They are going, we are watching them, we are molding them, something is being done, they are more hopeful They are more articulate. You can hear them speak here. They are more confident. The 3 million, something is happening about their future. But 2.7 million are in the streets of our townships. Many of them are lost to drugs, to nyaupe, and TIC, and Bluetooth. And many more are in our prisons because they are lost to crime. So even you, as you meet here in your deliberations, remember the 2.7 million young people. And what we were doing with SEPO 1 million today is, what can we all do regarding the future of these young people? As J.F. Kennedy would say, you and us must answer the question, no longer about what should our country do for us, but what can we do for our country? You and us who are in a better space where we are not lost, what can we do for the 2.7 million young people who are out of school and out of work? Half of them have not even completed matric in that 2.7 million young people. They too want a future. They too aspire to have an income. They aspire to have families. They aspire for a better life. That's what SEPO 1 million is about, which we were launching today, to give hope to those young people, but to place them at the center of everything that government does, at the center of the economy, to say to every business, if you do business in Gauteng, every business must answer the question, how do you create an opportunity for the youth? For every 2 jobs you create, 1 must go to a young person. That's what we have been saying to these businesses. So I've just signed a memorandum with all 25 corporations today. The first 25 corporations, they are going to doing training programs for this unemployed youth roaming the streets of our townships. And every one of these businesses, when they create an employment there, at least 50% of the jobs they create must go to young people. And therefore, I want to thank you as the representatives of the youth in our province, as this parliament, as these honorable members, that in the work that you are going to do, please remember to be honorable. And to be honorable means first and foremost, you must be committed to serving those who elected you. That's the youth of our province. Commitment to service. Secondly, being honorable also means you must be prepared to work hard. We can't sleep as long as there are 2.7 million young people unemployed. We cannot sleep. Be prepared not to sleep. And then lastly, when you debate and conduct yourselves in public affairs, please bring back integrity and honor in the institutions of government. I'm saying bring back, help us, because we, the older people, have let you down. Many of us, we have let you down. And don't learn the bad things from us. Don't learn the physical fighting in parliament from us. Don't learn the insults from us. And may I add, you must never steal money from the public. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Premier. Siyabonga usibingelela, usibingelelile Premier. Usibingelelile. I would further like to take this opportunity to welcome the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Nomantu Ralihoka, to present her closing remarks.
Viva Youth Parliament, viva! Honorable Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. Manbulise Madam Mijueno, Deputy Speaker Uhuru, Abebek Nyenati, no Premier with Bab Makura, MEC Jacob Mamabulo, Chairperson Joe Mpisi, HOT of Infrastructure, Deputy Chair of Committees, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm greatly privileged and humbled to have been asked to extend a vote of thanks on this historic occasion of the Youth Parliament. Madam Mehwe, the Speaker of the GPL, were inspired by your guidance and leadership. It is my sincere hope that the wisdom will enhance the relationship of the legislature that you have built with the youth people of Gauteng. The presence of the political leadership today, in spite of your busy schedule, is a reflection of the importance of this event and the achievement of the Youth Parliament, especially the activities celebrating in June 16 month. To honorable members of the youth, those of us who are embodiment of the legislature's oversight were inspired by your leadership, the responses and deliberations that you have ensued today. We're indeed inspired by your guidance and the vision and passion on youth issues that you have displayed today. I would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks and gratitude to the GPG for hosting the Youth Parliament here at Nasrec during this month. Your team and the GPL team who have tirelessly worked to make this event a success, we thank you. I remain grateful to the resolutions of the Youth Parliament that we have received, and we are going to take them from Honorable Mbisi, and we will look forward to those resolutions being processed and delivered to the executive. As the chairperson of committees, I recognize that these engagements assist in deepening relations with key sectors of our community, such as youth programs, and they are aimed at improving the quality of lives of our people through legislative processes with a view to radically transform, modernize, and industrialize Gauteng. Finally, let me take this opportunity to thank you, the youth, the youth of South Africa, in particular in Gauteng, with this aspiration and frustrations faced young people out there. When I see young people hungry for their individual and collective success and the development of our country, I feel great anticipation. I see young people who want to take South Africa in their hands and do worthy of it. I would have not done justice if I did not thank you, the Deputy Speaker and the Speaker of the 2017 Youth Parliament, for chairing this event successfully, and we will be working with you in other events that we'll be having until we hand over in the next year to other young youth parliament that we will be working with. Ladies and gentlemen, a very special thanks goes to you all for gracing this occasion. Thank you, Madam Speaker and Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for your closing remark. Participants are kindly requested to proceed to the front of the building for a photo session immediately after the setting, and you're also invited to join the GPL for lunch. That concludes the business for the day. The House is now adjourned. Honorary members, you are advised to all remain seated. Bazonithatha banise ngaphandle la nishudela khona. Thank you very much. Sukuma.